So right here, we've got the classic strategy of I don't really have this guy starts out the game just immediately. Just says, I don't really want to have to try. Hit him up with the cringe. He's really angry. And then he moves into second gear, which is... I think he says he's a pro at some point. I thought he already said it, but that might be coming up now. I thought he said it already. Maybe he didn't. Oh well. He says it at some point. So anyways, I'm just kind of going in with some pretty standard harassment. I'm not doing anything that's really too impressive here, but... At a certain point, I'll just kind of fast forward until he gets there. So I'm playing mech this game just to kind of aggravate the crap out of him, because so he's saying get bent, even though really nothing bad happened to me there. I lost 6 Hellions, the 7-minute mark. That's pretty damn standard. He starts spamming cringe, so much so in fact that he ends up losing his entire army. This certainly wasn't the best trade for me in the world, but I'm doing pretty well for myself here. I think I end up just like losing most of this stuff, and then he starts spamming cringe again. I can see the cringe really got him upset, which is pretty nice. And then nothing really of note happens this game, so I'll kind of just speed through. Oh, he says nice comp, with the thanks heart. He respectfully asked me to leave. I decline by wiping his army here. Attacking into a planetary fortress is a pretty big brain, if I do say so myself. Actually, I'm kind of curious about the game state right now. So yeah, it's a 4-base to 4-base right now, and he is just holding down that army key. So he's kind of just dead here. He goes for a few more like little pushes. This achieves absolutely nothing. He just threw away like 60 army supply to kill like 2 things. He starts going into ultras, the absolute worst decision you could possibly make in this situation, because it gets countered by every single unit I have. I don't know why I thought going cyclones this game would be smart, but that's just kind of what I went for. It worked out in the end. So I thought I had a lot more Hellions here than I actually had, so that just kind of made me lose this entire army, but this is actually a blessing in disguise, because I'm pretty sure he just like suicides his entire army in like a few seconds from now. Let's see. Yeah, so he's going for mass Ling. Actually, not even mass Ling. I don't even know. It's just mass Ultra. So this does actually better than I thought it would, all things considered. He tried doing some Ling Flood over here. This planetary fortress kind of took care of all of that. Kind of do a light pressure here. Here my AI, I was trying really hard to get my Hellions to just focus fire the Lings, but they did not want to. And this one was the blessing in disguise, because here he just throws away like 7 more Ultras. How many does he have right now? 7. So he trades an Ultra for a tank there, pretty big. Here comes the Ultra flank. I basically just clean this up with just SCVs and some Cyclones. He does literally nothing to the left. He continues to try to only build the one absolute worst unit in the game, so it's an interesting strategy we have here from our supposed pro. You know, I'm not gonna lie, around here he starts kind of outplaying me, but he's just so hellbent I'm building crappy units that don't do anything, that no matter how hard he outplays me, he just doesn't win here. So I lose a little bit more than I probably should have here, but all's pretty good. Yeah, so this part I was super greedy with. I should have definitely just lifted these two. I was like, well, my SCVs are here. I could just try to repair. That wasn't very smart. I ended up losing 2 PFs, and the outcome for the Ultras dying was 100% the same, so that was pretty dumb. Then while I'm doing that, he just kind of kills my entire side base over here. Luckily, it's pretty mined out, so it's not that big of a deal. If I was smart here, what I would do is I'd try to focus just 100% of my attention on this bottom area of the screen instead of kind of running back and forth. But besides that, he's just continuing to build Ultras and Lings into mech. Very stupid. Then he decides, you know what? I need to build an even worse unit. So he decides to build swarm hosts. Also pretty stupid. So he's building... If we just pause really quick here. He's building swarm hosts. Not a lot of them, but that's still, you know, I think they're 3 supply apiece. I wonder if I click on his thing, will it tell me? Not in this. I think a swarm host is either 3 or 4 supply, but in any case, that's 9 whole supply he's wasting. But the more important number is not right now, but see how he has 8 ultras in production? These don't do anything. Maybe if he was smart, he could build some vipers for some blinding clouds, and then they would maybe do something. And then he just has... He only has 12 lings, but I know later on he starts massing lings for no reason. So his continual strat of just bleeding money is kind of working. At a certain point, I think right here, I just say, you know what? I think I'm getting outplayed pretty hard here. The best defense is offense. I got a pretty decently sized army, and I knew he was building swarm hosts and ultras, so I can actually just take this fight back just a little bit and slow it down. So he has no vipers. He refuses to build them. And when he did build vipers earlier, he didn't even use a spell on them. So I know this guy hates using vipers. That's the only thing that I would say could like actually beat this huge ass mech army is I get into a choke point right here. He throws down 2 blinding clouds, then the ultras can kind of do some work. His creep spread's non-existent here, so it's going to be pretty hard. So what I say is hey, you know what? I like that strategy of doing a choke because then his ultras get, you know, no way to actually move. So see how these guys just don't do anything in the whole fight? So I ended up losing like 4 or 5 Thors and like 2 or 3 siege tanks for like 100 army supply of his. So he's broke. He decides, you know what? We gotta... Actually, what are his upgrades even? Okay, his upgrades are fine. So he says, you know what? I need the absolute 2 worst units in this situation. I need Lings and I need Ultras. Ultras are countered by like every unit. Lings get absolutely one-shot by Hellions. So you can kind of just watch as they just do absolutely nothing here. He's broke. If he couldn't beat me at 200 supply, he's not beating me at 120 supply. Here come the last few Ultras. They just get clean work on. And of course, no GG.